The Ford Mondeo Tournier and the Honda Accord Tourer are both station wagons, and they've got more in common than you think. For example, both target individualists.
Car tester Matthias Kurat says that in Germany there are relatively few Honda Accord Tourers compared to a slew of Mondeos. That makes owning a Tourer special. The abundance of Ford Mondeos on Germany's streets, he says, prompted Ford to offer its individual line, which affords the Mondeo owner more options to design to taste and distinguish his car from others. First introduced in 1993 as the successor to the Theyre, the Ford Mondeo is now in its third generation. Ford hopes to excite potential buyers with a diverse range of options to customize their cars. Being able to give your car that personal touch will cost you, though, to the tune of an additional €6,000. But you'll like what you find in the interior. Matthias says the Mondeo has a very pleasant effect. Its interior has high-quality workmanship. We've got a steering wheel that feels good and a display right between the speedometer and tachometer. So he's got all the information, including the navigation system. The car drives great, too. The suspension and steering aren't set too tightly, making for a nice gliding ride down the street. The Mondeo is about 10 centimeters longer, 8 centimeters higher, and 5 centimeters wider than the Honda. The customizing package for the exterior includes, for example, a modified front bumper. And for that sporty look, there's a roof spoiler. The spoiler is also available on the Accord, whose more squared and angular form give the entire ensemble a more aggressive look. Both cars have their fair share of chrome trim. At the rear of the car, the similarities continue, especially down below, where both models we drove boasted 2 exhaust pipes. The Honda Accord, now in its 8th generation, has been around since 1976 and continues to be generously equipped. Engines range from 150 to 201 horsepower. A diesel and 2 gasoline versions are available. Unlike the Mondeo, all of the Accord's engines meet the Euro 5 emission standards. Matthias says the Honda's interior is sportier than the Mondeo's, again with a good-feeling leather steering wheel, a good feeling of quality of the whole dashboard area. But there are too many buttons, 18 of them on the steering wheel alone, which can be confusing. In any event, you won't have to go clicking through a labyrinth of menus on the onboard computer. For an extra charge, says Matthias, the Honda offers a lane keep assist function. That counter-steers the vehicle if you start to stray from your lane. As long as there are shoulder lines on the road, the car can even drive itself on curves. To prevent the driver from leaving too much driving to the machine, the system issues a warning if he lets go of the steering wheel. Now, the inside question arises. Sporty or elegant? The plethora of buttons in the Honda Accord is daunting. It's as if every single function has its own button. The seats are narrow, but they do have good lateral support. In the Mondeo, it feels like you're sitting in an armchair. There are 18 buttons on the Mondeo steering wheel too, but it somehow seems tidier than the Accord's. Regarding room in the back, the Accord comes up short compared to the bigger Mondeo.
Mattes says people always judge a station wagon by its trunk size, and that's why we've put together a little test to see just how many of these crates will fit into each car. First, the Mondeo. One crate of mineral water after the other just keeps going in. 16 of them, and Mattes says he's impressed and would like to see how many the Accord can take. At first, things look good, but then 9 crates is all it will take because the trunk is too shallow, says Mattes. No matter what he does, he cannot get more than 9 in. He points to the remaining 7 cases of water still in the Mondeo as proof of the Mondeo's superiority when it comes to cargo space. But certainly not everyone chooses a station wagon based on cargo space alone. Both Honda and Ford offer good safety features, including ESP as a standard feature. For a little more money, you can get extras like radar-governed cruise control. So how did these vehicles measure up with the experts? Both cars have well-tuned suspensions and hold the road well, says Mattes. He likes the sportier feel of the Accord and the way it seems directly connected to the road. The Mondeo, he says, has more elegance, something Ford prides itself on. It's more of a cruiser. The Mondeo's elegant interior contrasts to the more sporty feel and look of the Accords. The final decision on which one to buy, says our expert, is one of preference. In fact, says Mattes, both vehicles are great cars.